Chapter 4, Section 5 in the 7th grade note-taking guide is entitled Customary Measurements. So, in the top part here, what we're going to be doing is identifying the measurement that's associated with the prompt. We're talking about measurements in the U.S. system, so we're avoiding metric system measurements here. We're avoiding meter, liter, and gram. As you can see, Part A there is asking me to choose the appropriate unit for the weight of a car. Part B is asking me for the diameter of a soup can, and Part C is asking me for the weight of a newborn baby. So we probably need some idea of what measurements we can actually talk about here. Unfortunately, the note-taking guide doesn't give us that list of measurements. That list of measurements is actually in your book for Chapter 4, Section 5. So here's a copy of the table you'll see for Chapter 4, Section 5. And in that table, it gives us some benchmarks to use associated with each of those weights, so we have an idea of what they are. I think some of them you're probably very familiar with, and others maybe not so much directly. So we start off here, and we're going to group all the length units together. So they've given us an inch. We all know what an inch is. We've seen a ruler, but think of a small paper clip. A paper clip is about an inch long. All right, then they've got foot there. Foot, think of your foot. That's a good idea to start with because it's a little bit longer than an inch. Foot, though, is the length of about a standard sheet of paper. It's really close. Standard sheet of paper is about 11 inches long. All right, foot is 12 inches, of course, so that's pretty close. That'll give us a good idea of what a foot looks like, though. And a mile is the length of 4 laps around a track. And since most of you have done the mile run, you're probably good to go with that understanding there. Weight. All right, for weights, we've got an ounce. An ounce is the weight of a single slice of bread. So if you were holding one slice of bread in your hands, that would be about an ounce. A pound is about the weight of 3 apples. So if you were holding 3 apples together in your hand, that would be a pound. And a ton is about the weight of a buffalo. We used to say all the time that a car was just a ton, but because technology in cars has changed and they're making them lighter to make them more fuel efficient, perhaps a car isn't the best example, although I think they're about to give it to you anyway in a minute here. But ton is about the weight of a buffalo. Then when we go down to capacity, the first one here is one I'm a little bit worried about, a fluid ounce. Fluid ounce is about the amount of water in 2 tablespoons. So if I have about 2 tablespoons full of water, even if you just want to think of 2 regular spoons, spoons you would use at dinner, 2 little spoons full of water, that's a fluid ounce. It's a very small amount. Also not to be confused with ounces, because ounces are for weight and fluid ounces are for capacity. You've got the cup, which is how much a standard measuring cup holds. If you want to think of a coffee cup, perhaps, maybe that would be better for you. And then a gallon. The gallon is the capacity of a large milk jug. Most of us have seen a gallon of milk, so I don't think we're too far off there by approximating it with a large milk jug.